Hello drummers, and welcome to Tim Connolly Drums. Today I have my brushes here with me, and I'm a huge brush fan. I really love great brush playing. I've played on quite a few recordings with brushes, and I feel a little bit of a lost art. Christmas time, the brushes tend to come back a little bit for drummers. The Christmas gigs that I've been doing, and I still have another one to do, a lot of brush work. So if you're a drummer that does any kind of Christmas, weddings, slow songs, ballads, even up-tempo songs but require a lighter touch, you should learn how to do these brushes. So that's why we are here today. We are going to do a brush video. I'm going to give you a couple of ways that you can play the brushes, very basic applications. Mostly the brush work is played with a jazz pattern, but it can also, of course, be played with eighth note pattern. A lot of train beats are played with brushes and stuff like that. So anyways, let's get to these brushes, and we will start with our first lesson. So the first thing you have to understand when we're going to learn the jazz pattern of the brushes is that the brushes don't stay in one spot. They shift around. Okay, so we've got this element of the brush going from beats 1 on this side of the snare and beats 1 and 3 on this side of the snare, 2 and 4 on the upper part of the snare. So the bottom of the snare is 1 and 3, the upper part is 2 and 4. Right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Left hand's playing circles. When you dig into the drum and you push down, this is called the wet sound. And as you can hear, it's covering the entire surface of the brush and a lot of the drum. The dry sound is when you just do the tip. Not as intense, still a circle, not as intense. And then of course you can do the middle of ground, which is, I guess you could call that the damp sound. It's the middle, so you're not quite dry, you're not totally wet, you're damp. Now, as far as the brush goes, you can push in tight, or you can push in not as tight. So in other words, you can go in like with a dry feel, or you can go in with a wet feel, and you can decide how much you want to push in. So I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about. So dry feel with no push. Wet feel, no push. Middle feel, or the damp feel, no push. Okay, now I'm going to do a light push. So it's like a dry push. So this is like a subdivision that I'm creating an accent with. All right, let's push damp now, or wet now. Medium or damp. You should be able to hear the difference between them all. They really do have a distinct sound. Now, as far as the hi-hat goes, I had it out of the way for filming, but I'm just going to bring it back a little bit The hi-hat's going to be on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, one thing about this is, like I said, you can get many different sounds out of that left hand. I'm just going through a few of them. There's way, way more than what I got here. Now I'm really going to push it with a slap. So a slap means I actually lift the brush up and then come back down. Now I don't take the brush completely off the drum. It's like a bent position, and then I slap it into place. Okay? Almost like a roll. Now the bass drum is not as relevant in this. I mean, it is. You can do lots of different things with the bass. For our purposes, for the grooves we're doing today, though, the bass is going to be feathered, which means played very quietly. It's not a rock beat. The focus is on the brushes on the hi-hat. The bass drum is just there for the ride, keeping along with that a walking bass line, basically. Okay? All right, now the next thing that a lot of drummers do is this. For very light brushwork, right? And you got that push in there, just like we talked about in the first one. So we're going to start here. And what's happening is these circles now, kind of like an 8. Even though it literally doesn't look like an 8, but when I think of this, I think of it as an 8. Hi-hat on 2 and 4, so it's 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. Wet sound. Dry sound. One wet, one dry. Flip it around. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can hear that skip beat in there. 4, 1, up, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is famously used in the song Christmas Time Is Here by the Vince Guaraldi Trio. Again, my pal Jerry. I love Jerry's brush playing, and if you listen to that song, since it is Christmas, check out just the beautiful sound that he creates on the brushes. Now, I'm no Jerry Connolly, but I'm doing my best. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. beautiful, beautiful sound. Unfortunately, I can't play any of the songs in this video because I'll get a copyright claim against me, but I can do some shorts, and I will play some shorts of this song and the next tune, another Charlie Brown Christmas favorite, Linus and Lucy. So we've got an eighth note feel here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So it's hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Left hand is doing a sort of a rock pattern against this rubbing. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and na 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 na. You know what tune I'm talking about. Like I said, I cannot play it here, unfortunately, and I'm not really a singer, so... So it's really got that nice eighth note pattern, and the rest of it pretty straight ahead. Right? So listen to Christmas Time Is Here, Vince Guaraldi Trio, and Linus and Lucy to hear Jerry's absolutely fantastic playing. Like I said, I am no Jerry Granelli, but I'm doing my best to try and teach some of this brush stuff. All right, let's move on. We can also do a rock pattern. So if you don't want to play the jazz pattern, you want to play the rock pattern, play with sticks, you can play with brushes. Double. So you can hit hard or very light. It all depends on what you want to do, okay? All right, thanks for joining me today on this little brush journey. Just 3, maybe 4 different simple ideas to get you playing. I know that the brush playing is difficult for some, but I highly recommend venturing into this. This is really awesome. Brush playing is, it's totally different than playing with sticks. So it's like relearning what to do. A lot of the same things rhythmically we do with sticks can be done with brushes, but the actual feel of moving around the drum, this is a whole new world for a lot of young drummers. Clayton Cameron, Buddy Rich, Louis Belson, Art Blakey, and my absolute favorite brush player of all time is Jerry Granelli. He was the drummer on all the Charlie Brown Christmas stuff. And that's a whole other story, but I was scheduled to have a lesson with Jerry, unfortunately, a couple years ago. Unfortunately, Jerry passed away right before the lesson, which was a shame. But I wish that I had had that lesson, but rest in peace, Jerry. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas to everybody. Keep drumming. See ya.